Welcome to my math class. 欢迎来到周社的数学小课堂。In this lesson, we are going to teach you, or we are going to learn together, some basic concepts or some basic ideas of the geometry. In Chinese, we translate it into 我们学一点基础的几何概念。I hope that this lesson or small class can help students from grade 6 to grade 8 to learn some expressions of the same mathematical idea in English, okay? Which will help you and all of you to get an idea of what is the English math. Actually, the basic ideas are all the same, they are all math. But the expressions can also help you to understand from the English angle to get a deep, a profounder idea of what the math is talking about. Okay, let's take a look at the basic geometry unit 1 or lesson 1, basic concepts. The objective, which we know is the learning aim or learning target, is review space, point, plane, line, ray, and angle. Let's take a look at this one. 我们的今天的学习小目标呢，正如这个材料所显示的一样，我们要复习空间的概念、点的概念、平面的概念、线的、直线的概念、射线的概念，还有角度的概念。This is our objective， 这是我们的学习目标。Okay, objective means the task of what we can call goal or aim of learning. First, let's take a look at this picture or illustration here. It is a famous, museum Louvre, Louvre Museum. 罗浮宫啊，著名贝聿铭先生设计的金字塔的造型。This is the reality application of what an angle or line should be. Okay, let's take a look at these examples. This structure is a modern addition to the Louvre Museum in Paris, France. It was designed by the Chinese-American architect Bei Yuming, Mr. Bei Yuming. Use the terms in the table below to help you describe geometric concepts in the building. Here we focus on the keywords geometric concepts, 几何的基础概念 几何的基础概念 Let's take a look at this table. Geometric concepts. 1. Space. So what is a space? It is not 宇宙 In mathematics, space means 空间 Space is the collection of all points. To be precise in English, or in the concepts of English, all the points gather together to form a space. 空间的概念啊，这是一个严格的数学的概念啊。它的定义是所有点的集合体。那虽然我不是专业的数学老师，但我尽可能的用我们中文教材当中所对应的，如果有什么纰漏差错的话，欢迎专业人士指正帮我改正一下。但是我们从小学生的角度来说呢，其实是一个很简单的概念，但我们只是了解它的英文表达。So in English we just call it the space and a point. So what is a point? A point is a location in a space. 空间中的任何一个点的位置就是一个 point. So we read it point A and we write it point A. 我们写的时候呢这个国际上是通用的，就有一个小点，然后标识这个 letter 数字 A 就可以了。Then we move to the second concept, which is a plane. A plane in geography is translated into 平原，对吧？大平原。But in mathematics, plane is a collection of points that forms a flat, continuous, and unending surface. 在数学的概念当中，所谓的平面的概念是所有的点的集合，但这个点呢，它形成的是一个 Pay attention to the three adjectives describing the definition here. Flat 它必须是平的 ，continuous 它必须是连续不断的 ，and unending which means it is infinitive 它是一个无限的概念。所以平面的几何图形在这里画出来的话，它四面八方都有箭头所指，它意味的就是它是一个无限延展的，它是一个无极限的一个概念无限的概念。So we read it plane P. And then we will have a new idea or new concept called vertex. A vertex is the common endpoint of two rays or two line segments. Okay, from the illustration or picture here, we will know when two lines intersect with each other, we get a point. 当两条直线它相交的时候，它那个交点 what we also call intersection. Here we have a new term coined for it. It is called vertex. 我们给它新铸造了这么一个专业的术语，叫做 vertex， 其实就是顶点的概念。What we read vertex B, and then we move on to the next point. When two rays with a common endpoint form an angle. Okay, let's stop here. Here, angle in mathematical way, in terms of mathematics, it is translated into 角，这就是角度的概念。But before that, we have to pay attention to what is a ray. 还是要回过来先复习一下 what is a ray， 什么是 ray 的概念。Ray 在数学当中，它指的是射线 ，which means it begins from one point and to the infinitive end of the universe。它是一点固定，另一点无限延展的这个线。In comparison, we have the straight line, or what we call just line， 或者我们称之为直线啊线。那它就是两边都无限延展，所以它的标志是一个 one arrow and the other two arrows。它两边就是有两个箭头。For example here， 那在这里我们看到它两边都有箭头的话，它就是标示指一个直线，一个直线。那么射线的概念我们现在已经复习了。But in Chinese we always say 直线、射线 always find a word called line。But here, in the original English version, we have different words, what we call straight line or line, and then we have a new word, ray. If you understand, you will find out. In daily English, ray means 就是线，光线的意思。Also, you can say sun ray or sunlight. They are the same. But in mathematics, it has a special meaning. Pay attention to that. 好，这个射线的概念带出了就是角的概念。当两根射线有一个 intersection， 有一个互相相交的点的时候，它就形成了一个 angle， 一个角度。The part of the plane between the two rays is called the interior of the angle, and then we have another new idea which was highlighted here. 这里用荧光笔打出的，也就是说强调了一个新的概念，叫 interior of the angle。也就是我们在平时的数学课本当中常看到的主要指的角，指的都是所谓的这个角，也就是说是它两根射线所加的那个内部的角。What do we call interior of the angle？ 就所谓的内角。Of course, if you learn a lot of the English vocabulary, you will understand the antonym of interior should be exterior， 就是外面的 ，which means, okay, the supplementary angle of angle M。也就是角 M 的补角，它其实就是外角的概念，或 what we call exterior of the angle。这我们在后面的课程当中会看到，所以这里的这个表达叫 interior of the angle。Read angle M or write in the symbol of an angle with an M， 用了一个像角的一个符号，用了一个这个 signal，OK，or sign of an M。As here, we can also say point Z is in the interior of M. And then we have a new idea. What is parallel lines? Parallel lines. Parallel lines lie in the same plane but never intersect. 这就是所谓的平行线的概念。两根线它互相平行，意味着在同一平面内它们永不相交。In English, we say they never intersect, or they never cross each other, or they never have an intersection with each other. But we have to pay attention to the signs and how to read and write it in mathematical way. When we read M and M, but here we will have to pay attention to this. Because a line was infinitive, or is infinitive, with two arrows to the two infinitive universe. So we have to point another M and another M here to show this is the name of the line. 我们必须再另外点一个两个点来标识它是一根直线的名字，否则的话就很难讲了，因为直线是无限延展，对吧？所以我们就可以随便给它一个字母，让它们形成一对，比如说线 MM。线 P 和 Q 之类的。And here we will read line MM is parallel to line PQ. Here we have a typical English phrase called be parallel to, 与什么什么平行的。But if we are learning literature English, we can also use this expression A is parallel to B means A and B they are at the same level, they can compete with each other. 那么我们在日常的文学性的表达当中，如果我们遇到了这个短语 be parallel to， 那它其实的含义就是 A 和 B 是相等的，是可以匹敌的，是可以互为对手的啊，是可以相比拟的啊，是这样这一个用法。And we write here with a parallel line symbol. 我们用了一个竖过来的 in a vertic way， 因为那个垂直的竖过来的写的一个方式表示两根平行。And lastly, we have this one called perpendicular line. Perpendicular line intersect to form right angles, so we can guess from the picture very easily that perpendicular means 垂直的。所谓的垂线用的就是这个标准的英语叫 perpendicular line. Okay. What we have is a right angle or right angles. Actually, they are because the two lines intersect with each other with the right angles. There should be 4 right angles altogether in this picture. 一共有4个直角啊，所以它这里写的是 right angles. Again, if you don't know the term for 直角, here it is right angle. 直角就称之为 right angle. What we read is line RT is perpendicular to line WX. And we write it with another symbol just similar or imitate the image of a perpendicular line. 用了就是一个像垂线本身的一个记号一样的这么一个 symbol 一个标志来指示它是一对垂线。Okay, and lastly we can take a look at these 2 examples. Here, 2 rays with a common endpoint determine 2 different angles, which means 2根射线如果它们有共同的也就是所谓它们交点 vertex， 它们会形成2对角。Okay, angle M is what we call interior of the angle, and then we have its supplementary angle called angle N, which is an exterior of the angle. 这就是一个内角和外角的这么一个英语的表达。Okay, then to the right hand, we have this example. An angle can be named using 3 points, the vertex point or a letter. We can call it angle RST. 我们可以用3个点组成的这样一个符号来标记我们小朋友做数学题做得多的话就一定会看到，但是它的英文也是一样的。Okay, let's review it again. We have 3 points, we have the vertex point, and we use the letters. Also, we can use letter, just 1 letter to show this is angle ACE. Okay, angle ACE. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and this is a very basic ideas of the geometry, lesson 1.